What is the spiritual dream meaning of diarrhea? Let's get right into it.
Look, to understand this dream, you have to understand the story of a woman who, on the surface, had it all. But behind closed doors, she was destroying herself from the inside out, and the whole world was watching.
I'm talking about Princess Diana, right? The most photographed woman on the planet. And for years, she was secretly suffering from bulimia. The royal family, they called it unstable behavior. The psychiatrists, a cry for help. But what it really was, on a soul level, was her hidden self, her shadow, screaming to be heard through her body.
Her gut was screaming the truth that her mouth was forbidden to say, that she was being poisoned. And so her body just took over, violently, urgently, without asking permission. It was expelling the poison because it had to.
I mean, she said it herself. Her conscious mind was sending one signal, but her body was sending the right one. Her body knew the absolute truth. And here's the thing, Diana didn't just survive those years, she transformed them. This is the woman who walked through actual minefields, who held AIDS patients when the world was terrified to touch them. She was scoured hollow and then filled with something real. That is the journey this dream is pointing you towards. So when this imagery shows up for you, raw, uncontrollable, humiliating, you do not look away. You just don't.
Okay, so let's be clear. This dream isn't polite, it's not subtle, it's confrontational. It is literally screaming questions at you.
So you need to think about it. Right now, what have you been holding in? What secret, what resentment, what bitter truth have you swallowed that is now just rotting inside of you?
We are all taught from day one to control everything, keep it together. But what if that control, what if that's the cage? This dream is showing you in no uncertain terms where you absolutely must let go. So, name it. Right now, what toxic belief, what relationship, what obligation is your psyche trying to physically, violently expel? And this is the real kicker. The dream is a mess because you've refused to make one in your real life. It's asking a very simple question. Is that clean facade really worth more than your soul? Okay, so you might be thinking this is all just gross, random imagery. No, there is a deep, profound psychological reason why your body is communicating with you in exactly this way. So, in Jungian psychology, there's this concept of the chthonic self. It's basically the most primal, instinctual part of your unconscious. It's the you that existed before you learned manners, before performance, before being polite. It's your gut-level truth. And when that part of you erupts in a dream, trust me, it is not an accident. It's a deep, instinctual cleansing. You know, Joseph Campbell's hero's journey talks about entering the belly of the whale, that terrifying interior space where everything just gets dissolved. Well, this dream is that moment. It's your personal belly of the whale. It's a gut-level surrender where everything you thought you were gets broken down to make way for who you are becoming.
So if you take away one thing, let it be this. Your dream is your body screaming, enough. We are clearing house, and we are doing it now. Your polite, conscious mind has refused to act for so long that your primal body has staged a coup. It's taking over.
All right, let's decode this purge. Let's break it down into plain, even brutal language. What do these symbols actually mean for you?
First, release. This dream is the physical embodiment of a psychic release. That secret, that grief, that deep resentment you've been holding on to with a polite, civilized smile for years, guess what? It's expired, and your body is taking out the trash because you refuse to. Next, loss of control. This is the part that terrifies us, right? The dream strips away all of your control, and that's the whole point. Your unconscious is showing you that your white-knuckled grip on your life, your emotions, it's an illusion. And fighting this necessary release, it's literally killing you. Then there's the shame and the shadow. Look, the shame you feel in the dream, that is your shadow. The shadow is every part of yourself you've suppressed because you decided it was unacceptable. Your rage, your real needs, your deepest grief. You shove it in the dark, but it doesn't go away. It festers. This dream isn't something to fix. It's the shadow finally demanding to be faced.
And finally, urgency. This dream is not a gentle nudge. This is a 5-alarm fire. It's a point of no return. Your soul is not asking you to change, it is telling you. It's a survival instinct kicking in.
So you might be wondering, why does this one specific, absolutely mortifying dream matter so much? It's because of the cost of silence. It's all about how we react to it.
Think about it. The first instinct for most women is to wake up completely horrified and then never ever speak of it again. But that is the absolute worst thing you can do. The dream is so psychologically potent because it hits our deepest taboo. And that silence? That's how the psyche traps you.
This dream doesn't just happen to anyone. It tends to haunt women in very specific situations. Women who are carrying a toxicity they refuse to name. Women who are in the middle of a total identity overhaul, a divorce, an illness, a spiritual awakening. It happens to women who've suppressed their rage so completely they've literally lost contact with it. And it happens to women at a crossroads who are absolutely terrified of making a mess.
Diana held it together for years. She played the part of the perfect princess. But her body knew the truth. Her body knew long before her conscious mind was ready to admit it. This dream, it is your body knowing the truth. So the only question left, the only question, is whether you will.
Part 2. All right, let's just get straight into it. Not all purge dreams are created equal. Not even close. Okay, forget those generic dream dictionaries. The specific, super messy, totally humiliating details of your dream, that's not just part of the message. That is the entire message. So let's break this down. So we're gonna blast through 4 key arenas of your psyche where these dreams show up. We're starting on the outside with the social world, and then we're going all the way in. All right, first up, the social purge. This is all about dreams that deal with how you're seen, how you perform, and that absolute terror of being exposed. Okay, so where this happens changes absolutely everything. If you're purging in public, like in front of a whole crowd, your psyche is basically screaming that whatever secret you're holding onto is about to blow. And, let's be real, a part of you wants it to. But what if it's on your clothes? Oh, that's totally different. That's about your persona. You know, the mask you wear for the world. It means your real, authentic self just wrecked the costume you've been trapped in. And listen, that's not a punishment. That's a jailbreak. That is liberation. But we can get even more precise than that. What if it happens in front of one specific person? A parent, a partner, your boss. That's what we call the judgment gaze. The dream is showing you point blank that you are literally editing your own soul just to get their approval. So the question becomes, what truth are you choking down just for them? So you've got to ask yourself, which one is it? Which performance is eating you alive? Is it the one for the anonymous crowd, for your public role, or is it for that one specific person? Because that act, it is costing you everything. Okay, let's shift gears. We're moving inward now, away from the audience, away from the public eye, and into the raw, messy mechanics of your own emotional world. Okay, red alarm. Seriously, you need to pay attention right now, because this next one is one of the most urgent, critical symbols in the entire Jungian playbook. If you're dreaming that you desperately have to go, but you just can't find a bathroom anywhere, it means you have no release valve. Simple as that. You are completely overloaded emotionally, and you have no safe space, no container to process what you're carrying. You need an outlet, a therapist, a journal, a friend you can trust. And I mean you need it this week, not next month. This isn't a suggestion, it's a demand from your soul. All right, now let's talk about 2 kinds of overwhelm. If the purge in your dream just won't stop, you're not in a breakdown, you're in a breakthrough. The truth is just so much bigger than you realized, and you've got to keep going. But if the toilet itself is overflowing, whoa, that's a whole different story. That means the container, your job, your relationship, your whole belief system, it's broken. It cannot hold who you are becoming anymore. So, which is it? You have to be honest with yourself. Do you just need to find an outlet? Are you caught in a flood of truth that you have to just trust and write out? Or is it finally time to abandon the broken system altogether? Okay, now we go deeper, way deeper. We're talking about the dreams that aren't just about your current stress. They point to the foundational, soul-level wounds, the origin stories. There are 2 variations here that are just profoundly important. First, if you see blood, it means this purge is costing you something vital. A part of your identity is dying. This is a grief dream, plain and simple. And second, if this dream is happening to you as a child, your psyche is literally taking you back to the scene of the crime, that exact moment you learned that your needs were unacceptable, that they were shameful.
And this is the message that your inner child needs to hear from you right now. Your needs, your messy, human, totally inconvenient needs, they were never, ever the problem. All right, final section, the urgent summons. See, these last dreams, they aren't even just about the purge itself. They're about the message about the message. This is the meta level. This is the final call. Let's tackle two final, kind of complex variations. If you dream you're watching someone else purging, that mess you're judging so harshly in them, that's your own. It's a projection and it's time to reclaim it. And what if this happens in a secret place, like a church or a temple? The message could not be more clear. Your messy, physical, embodied truth is your spiritual work. Stop bypassing your body. Stop trying to pray it away. So let's land this with two final crucial signs. The first one is hopeful. If you wake up and actually feel relief after one of these dreams, that is the best sign you could possibly get. It means the transformation is complete. You are being rebuilt. But the second one, the recurring dream, that is the most urgent alarm bell of all. It means your psyche is getting louder and louder because you're not acting. Look, a recurring dream is not a gentle nudge. It's not a polite suggestion. It is your soul on a freaking loudspeaker screaming the exact same message over and over and over because you refuse to act. The time for ignoring this is done. It's over. Remember, the details are the message. The urgency is the point. Your soul is screaming at the top of its lungs. The only question left is, are you finally going to listen? Part 3. So, you've had the dream. You get what it means. But listen, that's not the point. Knowing is never enough. Now we're going to talk about what you're actually going to do about it. And let's be really clear about this. Knowing is just spiritual entertainment if you don't act. So action? It's mandatory. As we go through these next steps, I want you to really pay attention to your body. Which one makes your stomach clench? Which one makes you want to just, click away? That's the one. That's the one you need to do. All right, let's get into it. First up, we've got some applications for those of you who really process things best by writing them down. Okay, this first method is, it's direct, it's visceral, and it absolutely works. We're calling it the Purge Journal. And it's designed to force all that junk you've suppressed up and out of your body. It's basically mirroring what your dream was already trying to do for you. Now, you have to follow these steps precisely. It has to be a physical notebook. That mind-body connection is not optional. And when you're writing, you do not, I repeat, do not edit or censor yourself. This is a raw data dump. Then you shut the book for 48 hours. When you come back to it, you're not there to judge or beat yourself up. No, you're a detective. You're looking for clues, for the pattern. And trust me, if it feels uncomfortable, that's how you know it's working. And this isn't some woo-woo idea I just made up. This exact technique is a proven tool. It's used in trauma therapy and deep shadow work. The urgency is real. You cannot put this off. So what if your issue isn't just general? What if it's aimed at one specific target? A person, your family, an institution that wronged you? Well, that's what the unsent letter is for. Now listen, the goal here is not to confront them. It's to confront yourself. The whole point is the physical purge, your hand moving across the paper, pulling that internal poison out and putting it onto the page. Then you read it once, you acknowledge it, and then you destroy it, burn it, rip it, whatever. It's a conscious act of release, of completion. This says it all, doesn't it? Your dream is literally showing you what your body is begging you to do. You have to let it out. Okay, moving on. What if you're one of those people who lives completely in your head? You feel disconnected from your body, from physical sensations? Well, it's time to learn how to listen. Look, if your dream is speaking the language of the body, you have to respond in the same language. This is basically somatic psychology 101. It's a direct conversation with your dream. The key here is to find that tension you've been brushing off, telling yourself you're fine, but you're not. That clenched jaw, it's holding all the words you're swallowing. Those shoulders, brace for the next hit. And your gut? Your gut holds the truth you just won't admit to yourself. So don't try to force it to relax. Instead, breathe right into that tightness and ask it straight up. What are you protecting me from knowing? And then just listen. You have to understand, your body is already talking to you. You're just ignoring it. Committing to this one practice can totally change your internal world. It can dial down that constant low-grade anxiety you've just accepted as normal. You have to start listening. Now, what if you have a sinking feeling that this toxicity isn't just coming from inside you? What if it's coming from someone else? If that's the case, you need to stop guessing and start auditing. Let me be crystal clear. If you have a dream about losing control, especially if it's in front of a specific person, that is almost always a relationship dream. It is a massive red flag that your psyche feels unsafe. So, here's what you do. Take out a piece of paper. On the left side, you get ruthless. You list everything you can't say or do or be in that relationship. Then on the right, you write down why. And you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Are your reasons based on reality right now, or are they based on some conditioned fear from your past? This is it. This is the diagnosis. Look, you don't have to pack your bags tomorrow, but you absolutely have to stop pretending that this relationship is okay when your own soul is screaming that it's not. Get support this week. All right, now we're getting into the actions that require you to cross a threshold. This is for when the change isn't just a small release, it's a fundamental shift in who you are. And we're going to start with a ritual. So if you're in a huge life transition, a divorce, a career change, maybe the kids just left home, your dream is telling you to stop fighting your own evolution. This ritual is how you start cooperating with it. This is about making a psychological release real by using a physical ceremony. You find an object that represents the old you. You hold it, you thank it, and you acknowledge that its part and your story is over. Then you physically get rid of it. But the final steps are crucial. You write about the woman you're becoming, and then you declare it out loud. Your dream pointed you to this door. This is how you walk through it. You know, some of you listening to this, you don't need any of this detective work. You don't need to journal or scan your body, because you already know. You know exactly what this is about. The marriage you need to end. The job that is absolutely killing your spirit. The secret you're carrying. The constant delay, the procrastination, that is the source of the dream. Your dream isn't a fortune teller. It's a status report on your current internal hell. So for you, the action is simple, and it's brutal. You have to make the honest decision today. Not the easy one, the honest one. I want you to write this sentence down. Fill in that blank. Then sign it, date it, and look at it every single morning until you've done it. Okay, finally, what if all of this just feels impossible? What if you feel like you can't do any of this alone? Well, that feeling, that's not failure. That is critical information. If these applications make you feel totally frozen or overwhelmed, it just means the stuff you're dealing with is too big to handle by yourself. This is not a sign of weakness. It's a signal that you need a trained guide. Go find a Jungian analyst or a somatic therapist. This isn't self-care, it's non-negotiable psychological maintenance. And really, that's the bottom line, isn't it? That dream didn't happen by accident. You're listening to this for a reason. Your intuition, your gut, it already knows the way forward. The only thing standing between you and a real transformation is the decision to stop waiting and finally start moving.